This is fan fiction only. Star Wars: Visions of the Force by Natasha A. Mori. Master Vasad turned his head slightly as the training room doors slid open. A small, bent frame appeared in the doorway. Green skin and pointed ears accompanied tufts of fine white hair. A gnarled gimmer stick tapped against the floor as the aged Jedi Master approached.
A fine day for training it is, Master Vasad.
Indeed, Master Yoda. I am inclined to agree with you. Master Vasad turned his head to the small, black-haired girl of 18 standard years, dueling with a blonde male. Her blue eyes were focused on her opponent, her movements a blur as she dodged and parried. Sweat dripped from her temples and nose as she blocked and swerved, her training saber meeting time and again with that of the other Padawan. The two masters watched the duel with interest. The young woman ducked as her opponent's saber whizzed past her head. She swung out her right leg and swept it before her as she did so, knocking the young man off balance and sending him tumbling to the ground. She stood and swiftly pointed her training saber at his throat. The duel was over.
Swift of both mind and foot, your Padawan is. A good Jedi Knight she will one day make,
I have high hopes for her, Master Yoda, but I fear she is stubborn and reckless at times. Master Vasad sighed and shook his head. She questions everything.
Young she is. Good that she questions. If questions we do not ask, answers we shall not find.
Master Yoda pointed his gimmer stick at the young girl as she stood deep in conversation with the other Padawan.
Speak with her, I must, Master Vasad.
Master Vasad was curious at such a request. Master Yoda showing signs of interest in his student could be both good and bad. He only hoped she had not gotten into trouble again. He ran a hand over his short, graying beard. Kirin, come here, please. Kirin Kador pushed back her sweat-dampened hair and looked across the room to her master.
Uh-oh, what did you do this time, Kir?
The blond boy whispered.
I don't know, Trayan. At least, I don't think so.
She patted the boy's shoulder.
Good duel. I will see you at dinner.
As she walked across the room, she watched her master talking with Master Yoda. Her eyes scanned the features of the tiny green master, searching for any sign as to why he was there. Kirin had only been close to him once before, and that had not gone very well. She had gotten in trouble for slipping green dye in another Padawan's bath soap. She had taken the punishment without a word. She had been asked her reason for such mischievous behavior, but refused to answer. The truth was that Kirin did it to punish a Padawan who was bullying smaller younglings, but the reason was irrelevant. She had done the deed and therefore took the punishment. She scanned her memory for anything that would warrant a visit from one of the most renowned and powerful Jedi in the Order.
Masters,
she bowed with respect before the two.
Kirin, Master Yoda wishes to speak with you. I will leave you two to discuss your business and await you in the meditation chambers.
Master Vasad bowed, and in a swift motion, which caused his cloak to flutter about him, and then walked out of the room.
Walk with me, young Kirin.
Master Yoda nudged the girl in the direction of the western garden. She walked beside him in silence, hands folded behind her back, waiting for him to speak. The walk seemed to take forever, with just the tapping of the master's cane on the floor as they moved slowly toward their destination.
Ancient you think I am,
The statement caught Kirin by surprise.
No, Master, of course not.
They entered the garden then. The peacefulness of the small enclosure always seemed to sweep over Kirin and lighten her mood, no matter how dark. Master Yoda turned to look at her as he led them to a white stone bench in the shape of a crescent. Nearby, a tower of cascading water plummeted into a pool filled with tiny pebbles and several small, colorful fish.
Lie you do, Padawan. Old you think me, and old I am. It is what happens as time progresses, but fool you it should not, for the Force my ally is, and age it knows not.
He motioned for her to sit, and he climbed up to sit beside her.
It is important, always, the truth to tell. Lies and corruption, Allies of the dark side they are. The truth will lead you out of darkness and into the path of light. Remember this.
Yes, Master.
Kirin sat silently, waiting for him to continue. She could feel the heaviness of his silence weighing down on her, as if time itself were whispering that this instant, this moment, was important, and should not only be remembered, but heeded too. The aged Jedi placed a small, wrinkled hand on her arm. His look was thoughtful, almost trance-like. Kirin swallowed a lump in her throat.
Sometimes, see things through the Force we can. Visions of things yet to be. But uncertain the future is, clouded by ever-changing circumstances. Understand this, do you, Padawan?
Kirin shook her head.
I have always been a bit fuzzy on that, Master. I thought the future was set and we each have a destiny.
Master Yoda pointed out a small drinking cup that someone had left on a nearby table.
Go to the fountain and bring me water.
Kirin did as the Master requested, and brought back the cup filled with water. She handed it to him. Master Yoda held the cup in his small but strong hands and looked up to the Padawan.
Look at the water, Kirin. What do you see?
Kirin looked into the cup at the clear liquid.
I see water.
Master Yoda nodded.
Calm and still the water is. But what happens when put your finger in it, do you?
Kirin touched a fingertip to the surface of the water.
It ripples.
What does the ripple in the water mean when compared to the future, you do?
Kirin thought about the question for a long time before she answered.
That one small action can change the view.
Master Yoda touched a wrinkled finger to the side of Kirin's head.
More than air between the Padawan's ears there is.
Kirin smiled.
I hope so, Master.
He laughed softly, then grew serious again.
The future that the Force shows us is only one of many outcomes. One tiny action change the path of the future. It can. One person's action affect the lives and futures of many people. It may. Careful we must be in our decisions.
Kirin looked at him questioningly.
What has this to do with me, Master?
Dream of you, I did.
That one small sentence had a great impact. Kirin felt the hairs on her arms and neck stand on end. Her skin tingled, and her stomach felt as if thousands of butterflies were trapped inside, beating their wings against the walls of her midsection in hope of breaking free. Her throat felt like a desert, dry and hot. She opened her mouth to speak, but no sound came out. Master Yoda nodded at the startled girl.
Know of this dream already, you do. Share this vision, we have.
Kirin nodded.
How did you know about my dream?
She had told no one of the nightmare she had been having for months now, dreams that haunted her long after she awakened.
Master of the Order I am. My job it is to know these things. The Force shows me many things, for my ally it is.
Kirin remained silent as Master Yoda continued to speak.
The time will come, Padawan, when a path before you will be laid. A choice to make you will have. Danger and darkness seek you out they will. Vigilant you must be. Carefully you must tread. For once down that path you step, difficult it is to turn back. Impossible it is not, but few are there who have succeeded.
Kirin cleared her parched throat.
What should I do, Master? This dream, this vision is scary. I feel so helpless.
Clear your mind you must. Let go of emotion, attachment. Cloud your judgment they will. Meditate on this. You must.
Master Yoda jumped from the bench and turned to Kirin.
Go, young one. Your master will wish to see you.
Yes, Master, and thank you for your wisdom.
Told you nothing, did I, that already you do not know? Learn to listen to yourself. You must.
Minutes later, Kirin walked into the meditation chamber, still numb from the conversation with Master Yoda. Kirin, good, you are back. I want you to meditate for the next hour and focus on lifting these stones. Kirin gazed at the round, smooth stones circling the room. They were the size of small tables and extremely heavy. Lifting them would take much concentration.
Aren't you going to ask me about my talk with Master Yoda?
Master Vasad walked over and gently cupped Kirin's face. If you want me to know, Padawan, you will tell me. Now go, meditate. He smiled and tweaked her on her nose, then walked out of the room. The events of that fateful day and the talk with Master Yoda played through Kieran's head as she crouched in the bushes. The air was crisp, and her breath fogged out before her. Clouds covered the night sky, obscuring the moon. She scanned the area and bent down to the fallen man lying crumpled on the ground.
Come on, Master. We have to get out of here. She reached out and took her master's hand in hers.
He groaned and tried unsuccessfully to sit upright. I can't go on, Padawan. You must leave me.
Kieran choked back a sob. She leaned in close to Master Vasad. We should never have taken this mission.
Master Vasad grimaced and clutched his side. These people, they are not Jedi, but they have a grasp of the Force that rivals that of our greatest masters. You must get out of here and back to the Council. They will be on us in a matter of minutes. Kieran could see the pain in her master's eyes and heard it in his voice.
Remember the day I had that talk with Master Yoda?
I do. What is that to do with now? We don't have time to reminisce.
The talk was about a dream, a vision I had, one that Master Yoda also saw.
Kieran paused and scanned the horizon.
This was it. This is what I saw.
Master Vasad looked at his Padawan, really seeing her now, seeing her potential.
What did Master Yoda say? He said to follow my instincts, to choose my path with caution.
Rustling bushes and voices signaled the approaching danger. Master Vasad gripped Kieran's hand tightly. I am proud of you. You will be a great Jedi. He smiled as his eyes watered slightly. You are the daughter I never had. Kieran's eyes blurred with tears. Master Yoda told her to be at peace and let go of attachment, but she loved this man that lay dying before her.
And you are my father, Master. It has been an honor having you as my mentor.
The sounds grew louder. The pursuers were almost on top of the two Jedi. Go, Kieran, they're coming! Kieran stood and grabbed her lightsaber, clutching it tightly in her hand. The snap hiss of the saber igniting sounded loudly in her ears as the blue blade lit up the darkness.
Let them come.